I'm all rested up from overnight. Today isn't going to be extremely strenuous for me like yesterday was, and backbreaking on that doggone chainsaw for, gosh, about 6 hours, I guess it was. There's just one cut left to be done to turn this log loose. Now, the problem really starts after it's loose. What do I do with it? Because now I've got the weight down to between 3,500 and 4,000 pounds, which still outweighs my tractor by quite some amount. So what I think I'm going to do, I went to Tractor Supply this morning, got some round fence posts. I'm going to lay those down and at the very least, get rid of some of the resistance of dragging this thing, and also to help keep it a little bit cleaner. I was able to get my truck down in here. So I think the truck weighing over 6,000 pounds is probably going to be my best bet for pulling this. Now, there are some areas up on top that I can barely get my truck up, even not dragging a log. So there's going to be an area where I may have to get my 8,000 pound winch and pull it across some areas. We got rain coming in this afternoon and this evening, and there's nothing I'd like better than to see this thing sitting on my trailer on my own property. I doubt that I'm going to have that much time. My goal really for today is to get this up the hill enough to where I can get my trailer to load it. So time to get started on that. Now, I'm actually probably pretty fortunate the way that the situation worked out. That log is going to act as a fulcrum for me. It's nearly in the middle. The end on the right here is the heavier end, so that end is going to drop. So what I'm going to try to do, I will do a little bit of cutting from this side and then leave a pivot point or a hinge point on the far side of that cut. Let me get a little closer and take a look. So if I cut about halfway through the log here, halfway of what's left, and as you can see, I'm cut probably 2/3 of the way through the log just to get that wedge to where I could do my layout. But if I cut this part first, maybe 1/3 or half of the way through the log, and then go to the other side and finish the cut, I think what that's going to do is to cause that log to roll back like this and probably lay on that log. I'm not sure, but I think that that flat area will keep it from rolling off that log. And then it'll actually make this light enough that whatever moving around I need to do with this end of the log, I can probably do with the tractor then, get it moved down to this end of my rollers, and then start the trek up the hill from there. Now I'm going to have to walk home and grab the tractor because, like I say, I think I'm going to need the truck to do the pulling. But I'm sure that along the way I'm going to want to follow with the tractor in order to be able to maneuver this thing to a little bit to the left or right as I'm moving it. Now, when I got my chainsaw hung up on the other end of the log, it was because essentially this hit this as it was falling. I've got this cut at a taper, and as you see, the cut that I just made, I made at an angle like that. So I think that once I cut it loose, I shouldn't have any problems with my chainsaw getting hung up as long as I'm cutting from the bottom up. I will start the cut on the top, maybe cut down a couple inches, and then finish it from the bottom. things don't always go as planned, but that worked just about exactly as I wanted it to. And actually that stump falling there I was fully expecting. In a much earlier video, gosh, I can't remember, if I think of it, I'll put in the link. On this very same property, I cut down another tree, and that actually happened kind of on accident because it wasn't at quite the same angle. This one wasn't quite as vertical to the ground, or horizontal, I guess, the root ball to the ground. And that one kind of took me by surprise. This one I knew was going to happen, and I pretty much know what to expect. That took a few tries, but I've got it right where I want it now. And here comes the real challenge, is can I even move this heavy thing? I'm hooking it up to the tractor to start with. My guess is I can't even budge it with the tractor, but I'm going to give that a shot at first anyway. It would be nice if I could move it a little ways with that. This is the most challenging area of the entire pull up to the trailer. I'm actually only about 150 feet from being at the top. This area is real rocky, washed out, been filled, it's slippery. I haven't been able to get footing with the tractor to be able to work on it down lower, so what I'm doing, I went ahead and got a 20-foot extension cable, and I've been able to pull it about 10 feet so far. I hope I can get it just a little bit further to get it on that next roller where it is there, and then after it drops off of the other one, I think this end of it will be high enough to get over this high spot in the rock. That's what I'm trying. I hope I don't offend anybody by saying this. Actually, I don't really care if I do. I'm going to be drinking several beers when I get done with this tonight. I got it up the hill finally. Boy, that last 100 feet was a real challenge. You saw me struggling with it a couple of times. Now it's time to get it on the trailer and get the heck out of here. Looks like I'm finishing just in time. There are drops of water starting to fall from the sky, so perfect timing on the day. I need to get this back to my place, and then I'll have to walk back and grab the tractor too. So I got another 45 minutes or so here today, maybe an hour, and I'll be done. But thanks for joining me on this episode. It's been an interesting one for me. Been kind of irritating at times, but comforting in the end. Goodbye.